Hi, my name is Scott Zimmerman. Today I'm going to share with you a very simple technique for identifying which of the four personality types the person that you are talking to is and how to make simple adaptations and sharing the ACN opportunity with them in such a way to where that makes the conversation more enjoyable. The platinum rule is a concept of treating others the way they want to be treated. It's a more sensitive version of the golden rule because if we treat others the way we want to be treated, sometimes that doesn't always work out as well as we would hope. What I'm going to share with you today has been used for a long time by professional salespeople to give them a defining edge, and it's based on a book that Tony Alessandra and I co-authored called The Platinum Rule for Disc Sales Mastery. Now, this book year after year keeps getting voted top 50 by Selling Power magazine because, well, it always works. Now, even though we wrote the book in the DISC language, it is no different than the language being used by ACN in terms of sharks and dolphins and whales and urchins. And I'm going to use the ACN language for this presentation. But what you're going to find is that the online sales training, while for professional salespeople, is going to do a great job reinforcing what I'm about to teach you today. I have good news and I have great news. The good news is you don't have to take notes. You can always refer back to this as often as you want. But more importantly, built right into your mobile system is going to be your terminology, your reminders, and details on how to recognize the four styles and how to adapt them. Now, why would you want to learn to adapt to other people's personality types? Because it will always lower interpersonal tension while increasing levels of trust. Now, as I go through the presentation today, you will definitely recognize that you are one of the four styles. But we also want you to be able to recognize the style of another person and then how to adapt, how you communicate with them in such a way that makes the conversation more pleasing for them. And the good news of this is that when you get good at adapting, even if the other person doesn't join, it certainly won't cause any damage or burn any bridges. And a lot of times they'll still want to refer you to other people. So the way that we used to teach this on DISC is that the high D or directing person, that's going to be your shark. We'll go into those details in a little bit. The high I is the dolphin, the playful people, and the high S is the steady relating, the whales, and the high C is the cautious and conscientious thinker, also known as an urchin. Now, how in the world would you recognize someone else's style? I love to teach this because it's so simple. It's almost like you're paying attention to two dimensions of their behavior, their speed and their temperature, just like two gauges on a car. So let's go into this in a little bit more detail, and let's talk about their temperature. Some people are either more open or more guarded. And by that, that's their willingness to share their interpersonal feelings and thoughts. Open people are your warm, friendly, hugging people. They're easy to read. They're easy to get to know. Their primary focus is on feelings, people, and relationships. Some people are harder to read. They're more poker face. These are your guarded people. They come across as more cool, standoffish, stoic. They're hard to read. Why? Because their primary focus isn't on people and relationships. It's on facts and data and things and projects. So a little bit more detail on your open versus guarded people. Well, let's take a look at your open people, shall we? They're easy to read, easy to get to know. Their primary focus is on people. And the one thing about open people is they don't care if a meeting takes a half hour or an hour. They don't care how long it takes. They're free with your use of their time. These people share their feelings more readily and easily. They tend to make their decisions based on feelings. They're more, subjective. When you're in a conversation with them, they tend to stray from the subject. A lot of digressions. They come across as relaxed and warm. And everything about them is more maybe opinion and feeling oriented. They like to work with other people, and they initiate and accept physical contact. They do enjoy stories, and they don't mind sharing their personal feelings. They'll give you a very warm handshake, usually the two-handed clasp or a one hand with a pat on the back. Now, let's take a look at guarded behaviors. Their primary focus is on tasks, work, and results, and they don't like you going over their use of their time. When a meeting's supposed to end, they want it to end. They're hard to read. They are harder to get to know. They come across as more formal and proper. When you're in a conversation with them, they stick to the issue. They stick to the task. They stick with the agenda. They make their decisions based on facts and evidence. They don't like stories. We'll go into this a little bit more. And when you first meet them, they come across as more formal and proper. When they give you a handshake, it tends to be more at arm's length. So based on that simple description, would you say that most times in most situations you are more open or more guarded? Keep that in mind because we're halfway home to understanding your primary style. Now, the other dimension is a measure of speed, pace, assertiveness, confidence. Some people are more indirect. They come across as more introverted, quiet, cooperative. They're more slower paced in how they speak and how they make decisions and typically how they walk and how they eat. And they don't like risks. Direct people are your confident, assertive, fast-paced people. You never have to guess what they're thinking because it comes right out. And they like to take risks. And when they see a business opportunity, they jump right in. So a little bit more about the indirect people is that they don't like change and they don't like to make decisions quickly. When they're in groups, they tend to not talk or give their opinions. When they speak, they will try to convince you with what they're saying, not how they're saying it. So they don't use a lot of gestures and intonation when they're emphasizing their points. And a lot of times when they want to make a statement, they'll qualify it. They'll say, well, I may have read somewhere, or it's only my opinion, but. They need definitely more time and more space when making their decisions. And they tend to come across as more monotone and more quiet and slower when they speak. On the other hand, you've got direct people. Direct people are fast-paced, confident, assertive. You never have to guess what they're thinking or what they're feeling. It comes right out. They like decisions, they like taking risks, and they'll jump into things very quickly. In groups, they're the ones talking. They're the ones leading the conversations. And when they speak, you know who's speaking because they'll use hand gestures, table pounding, and finger pointing. They tend to make quick decisions. They give you a firm handshake and they look you right in the eye and they maintain eye contact. Now, based on that contrast, would you say most times, in most situations, would others view you as being more indirect or more direct? Well, congratulations. If you put those together, you now can understand your natural style. So let's take a look at them, shall we? If you were both direct, confident, fast-paced, assertive, but you were more guarded, fact, data, results, task-focused, you are a shark, also known as a high D in the DISC model. You like to take charge, you like to win, you like to move things forward, you don't mind taking risks. When you see a business opportunity that achieves your goals, you'll jump right in and you'll figure things out as you move forward. You're pretty easy to work with because once we show you what needs to be done, you are goal-directed, you're confident, and you'll just go get it. Now, if you are direct, confident, assertive, fast-paced like a shark, but you are more open, people-focused, warm, and friendly, you are a dolphin, fun, friendly, loves to be in groups, loves to tell stories. You have the gift of gab and the power of persuasion, skills that would absolutely help you succeed in ACN. Very persuasive, very animated, a lot of fun to be around, and you love groups and conferences. Now, if you happen to be open and warm and friendly like the dolphin, but you're more indirect, a little bit more cooperative and quiet and steady, you are known as the whale, very loyal, very dependable. You like to work in very small groups. You don't have that many friendships, but the ones you have, they run deep. Once you're shown everything that's involved in a project or an opportunity, as soon as you understand everything involved, you are unstoppable. You're like a pit bull. You will see it through to the end. And you also, because of that determination and because you're soft and approachable, will do a great job helping others come into the ACN business model, and you'll do a great job supporting them. Now, if you were indirect, like the whale, but you are more guarded and fact-focused, data-focused, you are the urchin, analytical, smart, detail-oriented. You're going to scope this thing out like nobody's business. You'll shop it, you'll vet it, you'll make sure everything's in place. And of the four styles, you will work the business without deviating at all from the proven process. And of the four styles, once the urchins finally get in, you are wildly successful. Do you know why? Because when you share this business opportunity with people that know you, they know you are thorough and skeptical, and you have vetted the business model out completely, and they are 90% sold before you even start showing them the business model. Now, when you're in a conversation, let's say with someone who's obviously a dolphin, how do they want you to be for them? Well, dolphins want you to let them do most of the talking. Understand that when you're in a conversation with somebody who's playful and energetic and animated, you're the second best salesperson in that conversation. They will sell themselves on the ACN opportunity as soon as you start helping them visualize their success and how this would increase their visibility, and letting them know that their charisma and persuasion skills are fantastic for this business, especially in the group meetings and at the national conferences. When you get to the end of the conversation, just ask them, what do you want to do next? And a lot of times they're going to jump right in. Dolphins, as soon as something feels good to them, they just jump right in and they make a buying decision. Now the Sharks, on the other hand, they do like a fast-paced conversation, but they want you to stay at 40,000 feet. Only headlines, only highlights, discuss the concepts of the business model. Do not share stories and testimonials with these people. It's all facts and evidence. Show them how this will help them win or achieve their goals. And when you get to the end of the conversation, just ask them, what would you like to do next? And a lot of times, if the business model fits with their goals, they're going to say, how do I sign up? Now, the Urchins are also fact-based, like the Sharks, but they like a slower, methodical, logical pace to the conversation. Put in plenty of pauses, let them think, let them chew on things, let them get caught up. You're going to want to cover everything with them, all the details step by step. Do not share stories and testimonials with guarded people. They like facts and data. When they ask you questions, answer them completely. Help them vet out the business completely from beginning to end. And when you get to the end of the conversation, say, why don't you go home, read through my website, check into this as deeply as you need to, and maybe I'll call you back in a couple weeks. I just want your opinion on the business model. Because they want to shop it, they're going to shop it, be the one to offer to let them go home and think. Like the Urchins, the whales are going to need plenty of time and space to make their decision. So when you're speaking with a whale who's really warm and loyal and friendly, keep it soft, keep it casual, just like you're, having a chit-chat with your brother or sister. Make sure you're thorough with the whales as well. They like everything step by step. If you have a story about how the ACN business model has helped someone else, helped them with their family, helped a friend start a business, they love stories about how other people get helped. If you can, ask them how this might benefit their family with any additional income. And again, just like with the Urchin, offer, say, hey, why don't you take a couple weeks, go home and talk to your family and friends, because they're going to ask other people anyways. And then let them come back to you and ask them what they think about it. Now, again, this is just a quick overview of a lot of the details will be given you if you sign up and subscribe. Building the mobile system, we're going to be emailing you tips, tricks, and techniques, and great details are offered in the online professional sales training. Again, my name is Scott Zimmerman. I thank you for your time and attention, and I look forward to helping you be wildly successful with all 4 personal types with the ACN business model.